Hello everyone and a very warm greetings to all of you. I hope you all are doing absolutely great. Recently, we hosted a successful in-person UiPath community event at Pune Globant office, where we deep dived into UiPath Screenplay and coded agents. And honestly, the response was amazing. A lot of questions and a curiosity, and most importantly, can screenplay really achieve this in real life kind of moments? Now, screenplay is still a very new and less explored topic, and I strongly felt why keep this learning limited to just one room. So I decided to create this detailed YouTube video so that maximum people can benefit from it, especially when there is almost no content over the internet. So, in this video, we are going to learn about UiPath Screenplay from scratch, what it is, why it matters, and how it is going to change the way we build UI automations forever. But before we jump into Screenplay, let's do a quick channel intro followed by my updated introduction. Hi everyone, I am Ruchir Mahajan, an RPA tech lead at Globant. I bring 11 years of overall IT experience with more than 8 years dedicated to RPA and intelligent automation. My core expertise is UiPath along with Python and few flavors of Power Platform as well. One thing that is very important to me is UiPath community. I currently lead UiPath Pune chapter, and honestly, this community has played a big role in my journey. It gave me opportunities to learn, grow, and share knowledge with the community. Today, I am UiPath certified automation solution architect professional and a proud two-time UiPath MVP for 2024 and 2025 respectively, recognized globally for both technical leadership and community impact. Community building and knowledge sharing are very close to my heart. Outside of work, I love exploring new things, so my hobbies keep changing. Right now, it's badminton and bit of playing Valorant. I am also quite active on social media, where I experiment and share insight tailored for each platform, whether it is YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, Spotify, or even Threads. As of today, my content reaches over 325k viewers every month across different platforms. That's very little about me. Without wasting further time, let's deep dive into UiPath Screenplay. Let's first take a step back and look at the journey of automation. If you remember, around 2018, UiPath was mainly known for its three core products: Studio, Orchestrator, and Robots. That was it. And honestly, that itself was a revolutionary at that time. But slowly, year by year, something interesting happened. That small family of three products started growing into a complete ecosystem. An ecosystem that today offers everything to everyone across the automation and agentic SDLC. We have got computer vision, intelligent automation, process and task discovery tools, intelligent document processing, generative AI, LLM integrations, autopilots, coded automations, and even trust layer for security and governance and compliance. And now, with UiPath Screenplay, which is the latest and one of the most exciting additions to ecosystem. Screenplay is not just another feature. It is something that is truly going to disrupt the way we interact with the technology and how we build UI automations. With Screenplay, our automations have got a massive upgrade. They are now more resilient, more intelligent, more powerful, and much closer to how humans actually think. And honestly, it promises to completely change how UI automations are built. Let me ask you one thing. What if you could automate almost any task just by describing it? I mean, in just plain English, no more wrestling with complex selectors, no more rigid battle scripts, or no more writing endless workaround logic. You just tell the system what you want to do and it does it for you. That's incredible promise Screenplay does for everyone. But to really understand why this is such a big deal, we first need to talk about the present reality of UI automations. Let's be honest, the world of automation today can be very well frustrating, especially the UI automation. And to understand why Screenplay is a game changer, we need to understand why things break so easily today. As RPA developers, we all have been there. Late nights, broken automations, and constant firefighting. Your process works perfectly in dev and then breaks in QA and completely collapses in production. Why? Because selectors break, pop-ups suddenly appear, and buttons move slightly. UI gets small update and suddenly the automation that worked yesterday fails today. Not because the process has changed, but because the screen has changed. And to fix this, what do? We write complex selectors, defensive logic, workarounds on the top of another workarounds. And still, there is no guarantee that the automation will run smoothly tomorrow. And this leads to very painful cycle: build, break, fix, and break again. Projects get delayed, business starts chasing developers, and developers work day and night to meet commitments. This results in developer frustration, business frustration, and increased cost. Also, high maintenance overhead, and because of all this, some really great automation ideas never go live. Not because they were unvaluable, but because they were too fragile to maintain. And this is exactly the problem Screenplay is designed to solve. So, what the real solution is to all this pain? The solution is no more selectors. The solution is no more conditions. But the solution is a UI agent that can think like a human. An agent that doesn't just follow instruction but actually understand the context, intent, and meaning. This is where we see a big shift from instructions based automation to a goal based automation. Let me explain this with a very simple example. Think about how you work. If a button moves on a screen, you don't panic. You don't say, "Oh no, the button moved 5 pixels to the left." You simply look around, understand the screen, and click the right button. This is how we do as a human being, right? UiPath Screenplay does exactly the same thing. You don't have to tell it how to click, but you tell it what you want to get done, and the agent figures out the rest. How cool is that? Now, this is my favorite part. In a traditional RPA, what did we do? We created multiple selectors, nested conditions, fallback logic, and an endless if-else block. Traditional RPA relies heavily on something called selectors. You can think of selectors like a super rigid, hard-coded map of all UI elements for the robot. Click exactly here, type exactly into this field, and at exactly this coordinate. And the problem? If a developer changes the button's color or moves it 5 pixels to the left or right, poof, the whole automation breaks. It is simply extremely very brittle. And this is where things get really interesting. UiPath introduces a completely new way of thinking, designed specifically to overcome this brittleness. And yes, it is known as UiPath Screenplay. Instead of writing complex selectors and conditions, we write instructions in a simple English, just like explaining a task to the junior teammate. So what is screenplay really? Screenplay is what we call a computer using agent. Instead of blindly following a rigid selector map, it uses large action language models to understand your instructions. It sees the screen the way human does, understands the intent, mimics human actions, and this is a very profound shift. You are no longer be giving the bot step-by-step directions. You are just giving it a goal. Honestly, the best way to think about it is this. It is like having a smart assistant on your desktop and not a robot, not a fragile script, but a helpful colleague sitting very next to you who understands what you want and figures out the steps on their own. And now, here is something very important. Screenplay is not just about developer convenience. It is just another feature and but actually changes all the economics of automation. Think about it. More stability, less efforts, and more possibilities. Lower maintenance means lower cost. Lower complexity means more people can build automations, and suddenly we can automate faster, we can automate smarter, and even automate the processes that were yesterday marked as too risky, too unstable, and highly expensive to maintain. That's a massive shift. So, what makes screenplay so powerful? It is built on a few very strong pillars. First of all, we are moving away from brittle, code-heavy systems that fall apart with the slightest UI change. The goal is to build resilient, low-code, adaptive automations that can even heal themselves when a UI changes. And this adaptability comes from some of the key superpowers. Self-healing. Minor UI changes won't break your automation anymore. Hybrid by design means you can mix screenplay with your existing RPA, API, and agentic workflows. Citizen developer friendly. That means business users can automate using natural language. Cross-platform, which works on Windows, Mac OS, and even Linux. And it is powered by computer vision. That means the AI literally sees the screen the way we do as a human. Now, when you combine all these powers together, you can imagine how powerful this technology really is. Now, one important thing. When something feels this simple and this powerful, human tendency is to want to build everything using it. But that's not the smartest approach. The real magic happens when we use screenplay wisely. In a combination with traditional RPA, API automations, backend integrations, agentic workflows. This helps us strike the perfect balance of fast development, high stability, and a controlled cost. Screenplay is not here to replace everything. It is here to complement your automation toolbox, help you build better, smarter, faster, and more resilient automation solutions. Now, at this point, you might be thinking, okay, this sounds amazing, but how do we actually start with screenplay? Very valid question. So, in the next couple of slides, I want to make this very practicable. I have curated two clear paths to get started with screenplay. And the good news is both paths work for everyone. It is completely depends on what suits your business. Path number 1. Fix what hurts today. Part 2. Build fresh with a new mindset, and let's quickly understand both of them. So, path 1. Do not replace everything. Your existing automations already have a value. So instead of throwing them away, audit them regularly. Look at the reports, look at the failures, and ask one simple question. Which parts give us the most headache? There will always be some of the most fragile parts. So instead of rewriting full automation, replace only these fragile steps with a screenplay. This way, you reduce the risk, you increase the stability, and you get quick wins. Small change but big impact. Path number 2. Building from fresh. Here is a very important tip. Even though screenplay is powerful, don't dump everything into one single screenplay activity. Trust me, you should not do that. One screenplay instruction should ideally handle 2 to 4 or at least 5 actions, not everything. Let me explain with a simple example. Suppose you create one screenplay activity that handles 15 steps. Now imagine when your automation breaks at step 8. What could happen? What if it retries? The agent will have to repeat all 15 steps again. That means more time, more cost, more unnecessary execution. And that's not good for the health of your automation. Best practice says stay granular. The more granular you are, the more efficient the automation becomes. And the more accurate the agent behaves, and the better control over the cost it gives you. This keeps the agent focused and improves accuracy and performance. Now let's talk about where screenplay really shines. If your application is old, dynamic, or frequently changing. For example, let me try to give you more detailed examples. Legacy and Citrix applications. Think about old legacy applications, green screen systems, apps running in a Citrix environment. These are notoriously hard to automate with traditional tools. But Screenplay doesn't care about underlying code. It just looks at the screen, and that's why it works beautifully in this scenario. Second, frequently changing application like customer service portals, claims processing systems, internal business tools where UI and business rules change all the time. Instead of constantly fixing broken bots, Screenplay can adapt it on the fly. And the most important, maybe the biggest impact of all, citizen development. Screenplay empowers business users who are less on technological side but want to make an impact using automations. They can build automations just by describing what they want. This changes the dynamic completely. IT and RPA teams are no longer just builders, they become enablers for the entire business, and that's a huge shift. How to access Screenplay? You can actually start today. First, for community users, you get 500 Screenplay runs per month. Enough to experiment, enough to learn, and enough to build confidence. For enterprise users, you can reach out to your customer success manager or a UiPath sales team and request the access. It requires no heavy setup, no complex configuration. Just start experimenting, because the best way to understand Screenplay is not just by watching a YouTube video, but actually trying it out. This slide will help you to get started. There are two ways to access Screenplay, either from Studio Desktop or from Studio Web. First, we will talk about Studio Desktop. Studio Desktop requires 24.10 version or above. The latest is recommended. Once you do that, the UI automation activities package from the managed packages should to be have on 25.10.5 or above. Make sure that you are checking out the official UiPath orchestrator feed. If you're accessing from Studio Web, that activity should already be present, because Studio Web always uses the latest version of the Studio. But if it is not there, try to ensure to automation ops policy should be active on your account. If it's still not present, feel free to post it about on UiPath forums, and any community member will be happy to assist. Best practices for building with Screenplay. This slide will explain you how to use Screenplay in a right way. Because, like any powerful tool, the real value comes from how smartly you use it. I will walk you through 4 best practices that I strongly recommend. The first practice is very simple. Target fragile automations first. Look at your existing automations and ask which ones fail the most, which ones break due to selector issues, right? And it will give you the answer. Application with frequent UI changes or dynamic search pages. Instead of rewriting everything, replace only those brittle steps with Screenplay. This gives you quick wins, high impact, immediate stability. Second best practice is build granular and focused actions. Don't try to automate an entire end-to-end process in a single Screenplay prompt. Instead, use one Screenplay activity for 1 or 2 clear or simple actions. For example, log into the application, fill out the form, extract the table data. This keeps agent focused, automation faster, and retries much more efficient. Granularity is your best friend. Third, now this one is very important. Use control agency. I have explained it before. Control agency is nothing but Screenplay is powerful, but that doesn't mean you should use it everywhere. The best approach is to mix Screenplay with traditional RPA. Use Screenplay for unpredictable UI behavior, dynamic pop-ups, and frequently changing screens. And use traditional RPA activities for stable, deterministic, back-end or rule-based step. This hybrid approach gives you the best of the both worlds. And fourth, balance accuracy, cost, and speed. Different use cases need different modules. For simpler tasks, a lighter model may be faster and cheaper. For complex or highly dynamic UIs, a more powerful model may be needed, right? And don't assume one size fits for all. So always test, measure, and optimize. This is how to build production grade Screenplay automation. If you follow these best practices, Screenplay won't just be exciting, it will be reliable, scalable, and cost effective. And that's exactly how real world automation should be. As we have gone through a detailed explanation of what exactly UiPath Screenplay activities are, right? We will be now going to see multiple demos around the same. This is the first demo where I will be working with the desktop application calculator. But before that, some of the prerequisite. Once you open UiPath Studio, which looks like this, you have to go and make sure in Manage Packages, the UIA automation activities are 25.10.5 or above. Second thing, in settings window, you have to make sure the official feed is checked. Once this is done, you will be able to see the Screenplay activity in the activity panel under UIA automation. If you drag and drop, it will give you the application container where you can indicate the desktop of web application, and inside this your Screenplay activity will be present. Familiar properties that you will be able to see like delay before, delay after, timeout, and some extra properties like used DOM structure, what are the number of steps that the Screenplay or the large action model needs to perform for the given requirement, or some type by clipboard or those kind of thing. So let me explain. In Screenplay, you will get a space here to explain your automation requirement in a very plain simple English. Now, for example, I have given this kind of prompt. So this may not be the very efficient prompt, but feel free to experiment with your prompt and the model that you are going to use. It also gives us the facility to give the variables inside this prompt. So as of now, I have given the simple prompt. Give me the sum of the numbers 3 and 5, store the result, output in the result variable. That's it. And these are the models that are present with the Screenplay activity. With UiPath Screenplay, we get a facility to integrate with Gemini Flash, GPT models, OpenAI operator, and even Anthropic. It also gives us the facility to bring our own model deployment. This option will allow us to use our existing subscription of the large action models to power Screenplay. You can use AWS Bedrock Anthropic Computer Use, Azure OpenAI Operator, Azure GPT models, or even Google Gemini Flash. Okay. Now we can proceed with the data. Now you have seen what prompt we have given, into what variable we are storing it, and I have not used any kind of traditional automation activities like type into, extract screen, or those kind of thing activities. Okay. So let us see how it behaves. I will execute and let's see. It has opened calculator. Because the Screenplay are just into the general availability, the performance is little bit slow because it is understanding the intent or the goal of the prompt that we have given, right? But in coming days, the performance can be improved. But see, it is reacting to our prompt and it is working as expected. Here we have a result. Let's see whether it will be able to extract from the screen just based on the prompt and display it into the message box. Here it is. It was able to extract the prompt and display it into the message box. And if we go into the output, we will be able to say all the audit logs, what it has done. Healing agent has configuration, starting execution of the prompt. We can see what prompt we have passed, what was the reasoning, right? Task not finished to compute. Next, press 3 button. We will be able to see all the actions and what actions the agent has taken place and why it has taken place. You will be able to see it into the reasoning section. Okay. So that was it, our first demo of using UiPath Screenplay along with calculator, where we gave a simple prompt to make a sum of two numbers and extract that variable, and I passed that variable into the message box activity. Now we will go to our second demo where we will use Screenplay activity with another desktop application as Notepad. Let me close this project and then I have to open a project for Notepad. Okay. Again simple. I haven't done any heavy coding or heavy workflow. I have kept it simple. The main intention is to give innovative ideas and showcase the capabilities of UiPath Screenplay on the just basis of simple English prompts. Okay, that's the main intention. You can try it out different innovative approaches at your home and post it on UiPath forum as well as LinkedIn about your views. Yeah. So here I will showcase the prompt. Here I am using OpenAI operator. In the last demo I have used GPT-5 mini model, and here is my prompt. I am asking the agent to type hello world. Okay, append it with the current date and timestamp inside Notepad and save the file on desktop with hello world, and if there is a pop-up to replace, then I am asking it to replace and proceed. Okay, let me execute. It has able to open the Notepad. Okay. Perfect. So we are able to see successful demonstration for our second demo with Screenplay, right? So you would be like, Ruchir, you are showing us very simple demonstrations. But in my upcoming next demos, I will be showing some complex situations where UiPath Screenplay activity is able to handle it successfully. Here we go. So in this third demo, what we are going to do is that I have designed a web page. So whenever someone refreshes the web page, the language of that web page or a login page gets changed. In traditional automation way, there could have been two options to automate this kind of scenarios. Either to check whether the language displayed of this page is into our desired language or not. If it is not, then we have to go here, change it to another language and proceed with our automation. The second thing is that we could have used browser settings to auto translate the web page into our desired language and then proceed. But what if the Chrome browser gets upgraded in the maintenance activities? All the settings would have been flushed down and eventually our automation would have failed. So let's see how this kind of situation is being handled by using our screenplay activity. So again, I have kept everything as simple. I am using OpenAI operator. This is my prompt, which I am asking that to refresh the web page using keystroke level. So that means I have to show that Screenplay is able to work with the keystroke or keyboard strokes as well. And I have passed two variables from where the UI agent has to take the values. Let's see how it goes. I'm executing this web page. Let's see whether it is able to refresh or not. So it has refreshed the web page as the language has changed to Marathi. It has entered correctly username. Now let's see whether it will be able to type into the password field and click the submit button. Let's see how it goes. Perfect. So we have completed our third demo successfully. In the first two demos, we checked how the UI agent or a screenplay activity was able to work or integrate successfully with the desktop application. In the third demo, we checked where it was able to work successfully with multiple language login page. Okay, now we will proceed with our fourth demo. In this third demo, we are going to work with registration forms, right? So currently this is a simple registration form, and afterwards, what if the registration form's theme or UI gets changed, or even the position of the fields get changed, right? If we will see and test whether screenplay activity is able to work in such kind of situation. So the main idea is that whenever a registration form is there and the bot clicks the submit button, I have written a simple script on submit button that to fill the data into the Excel sheet. So for that, I have written a simple Python code and I am executing that Python file. Perfect. Now I am closing the modern design first, and this is my prompt, how it looks like. Fill the registration form with random unit test data for name, city and company and submit the form. That's it, a very simple form. Again, using OpenAI operator. It is not necessary to always use OpenAI operator. As I explained in my theory session, you can experiment with different kind of model, whatever works with you, you can use that. So let's see. I have executed. The agent is active, as we are able to see that it is going to fill the name field first. Random name 123. Amazing, the data has been submitted successfully. Now we will see whether it is able to work with the modern form as well or not. Okay, now what I will do, where is my modern form? I will open the modern form, name, company. I will try to refresh so the sequence of these fields gets changed, and again I will go inside my same automation. I am not using any kind of different project. I am using the same project where I was using for a simple form, and I'm just executing it. Let's see what it goes. So earlier it got shuffled between simple registration form, but then it took that control into modern registration form. Now the interesting fact is whether it will be able to update this form. Yes. So the first world is city, whether we see it enters the data as city or it enters the data as name. Okay, so one field done correctly. So even if the sequence of the fields are getting changed, he is able to understand, identify the intent. He's reading the screen as a normal human being is, right? So that's the beauty of this. There is some error. Interesting. The execution stopped because there was a question the model asked, should I submit the form with the test data entered? Edit the initial form to code. Okay, perfect. Okay. So as I have given a disclaimer, right? Whatever the prompt I have written may not be the very efficient prompt. So you guys will have to experiment with this kind of prompts and different models. So as a RPA developer, it was a nightmare to automate the scenarios where the date field is the read-only field kind of thing, right? There is no other option to click into this but to select the calendar only and have to operate, right? And if it is in iframe, then the automation is really tough using traditional automation, right? So here in this demo, we will see whether Screenplay is able to work into this fashion or not. So this is the prompt that I have given. We will see. I am trying to execute this form. If Screenplay is able to automate such kind of scenarios, right, then it will be a definitely some next level kind of things that we are able to achieve, because using traditional automation, this is a very tough when the date field is a read only and there is no facility to automate within or enter the text by typing inside, right? So now as you see, he is understanding the intent of the calendar, how it is fashioned, and every calendar could have been designed in a different way. So he's trying to find the year that we have mentioned. Amazing. So if you have observed carefully, it entered the wrong date at the first time, and he recorrected himself to enter the correct date that was mentioned inside the prompt. And I have not written any kind of retry logic or those kind of thing. It has taken the end date as a current kind of thing and it is calculating. So with these 5 different demos of Screenplay activities in different situations, you might have got a fair bit of idea about its usage and how impactful it is, right? And into which scenarios. Feel free to experiment about it in different situations and don't feel shy to talk about it on LinkedIn or UiPath forum. I will be very excited to hear about your different trials about screenplay activity into different situations, right? And if you have learned something new, if you have found this video useful, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.